Okay, so we just want to focus in on like kind of the makeup of the team, right? Because obviously things have changed. Like you watch you guys as things are evolving with Nico joining the team, things are moving around. You can see you guys are changing things up, especially on maps which aren't so familiar to Nico, like Vertigo. We've seen quite a lot of changes there for you guys. Does it feel like from your position as an in-game leader that you have a bit of role overlap with Nico and Hunter? Because for me, when we'd watch those guys at their prime, they're both just sitting there with AKs mid-long, just fucking tapping everyone who shows their head, right? So their highlights are similar things, but as it plays out in game, does it feel like there's any role overlaps or anything like that?
I would say there's more like overlap between Hunter and Nico than there is like with any of them with me. For my city sides, like I'm an anchor. Both of them, they like to like run around, take duels, be aggressive, like play these rotation positions. For me, like I was always an anchor. I enjoy sitting quiet in my corner and just waiting for people to show up. And for the T sides, I think we have a lot of playmaker. Like it's not just the two of them. We also have Kenny S, and he's a guy who always likes to go aggressive with his op. He likes to make plays. He likes to open the map. So it's kind of been difficult for me, let's say, to figure out who I want to use on like specific maps, because honestly, if you have three playmakers and they're all three making plays at the same time in the same game, it's not gonna work out well. And so I've been like trying to work with Malek, the coach, to figure out this balance and to figure out maybe like there's some maps that suit better Nico, that he can be this playmaker always and run around and he can open the map. He can like have this like trust and confidence in him. And made like maps like Vertigo, for example, we give these keys to Hunter because he's really experienced on the map. He loves playing this map, so he's kind of our playmaker there. So we were trying to figure out like going map by map and seeing like which guy could be our main playmaker that we can like focus our game around.
Okay, I got one I want to follow up with here from an in-game leader perspective, right? Because you're just talking about the fact that you're having to decide who to use. Is that a problem in itself that you have to? Are you tailoring stuff that you're calling to what they like to do, or do you and Malik have this is the way we want to approach the game, and then you try and fit them in, or is it a little bit of both?
I would say it's definitely me and Malik, like figuring out things and setting things in stone and place. And yeah, of course, people can bring their own plays and their own like moves and things they like to do. But at the end, if it doesn't like fit into the system, then it'll most likely not get picked up, if you understand.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Strike, you got any follow-ups here?
Not particularly in terms of the roles.
I was curious about the thing. There's a bit of like back and forth between Yanko and Launders on Twitter the other day. Launders saying something like Nico's role overlap with Hunter is making Hunter play worse because Hunter had to give away his positions to Nico or something like that. And Yanko tied into saying like he didn't give away any or almost any positions to Nico. So what is the... You're in the team. You're in the in-game leader. You probably know the best. So what's the deal there?
On the CT side, he didn't give up like any positions for Nico. Like he still plays all his own things that he had before. On T side, no, not really. I would say maybe on Dust 2, there's a bit of an overlap because they were both like this secondary guy going behind the entry. But right now, they are the duo, like taking map control. So like only on Dust 2, I would say that like Hunter is the guy going first and Nico trading him. Maybe that's the only place where there's an overlap. But on all other maps, I would say everyone is playing the position that they want.
But is there then maybe if not in roles, is there a how do I explain it? Like amount of resources going into Hunter's plays, or the amount of space for him to do maybe a solo play that he had before that he doesn't have now?
There's definitely an overlap in that sense, because before we had Jax and Amanek, and they were both guys who can do the sentry role and who would space and die for the team like anytime you ask them to, and just basically do whatever you needed them to do. And Hunter would always be the guy trading, like the guy who is always set up to succeed. But now we have Nico, who is doing the exact same thing. So basically, yeah, you could say that there is an overlap in that sense.
Is that maybe why we've seen in certain situations, like in certain rounds where there's definitely been enough cash, Hunter's picking up different SMGs? Like I remember before he would occasionally, but now I'm seeing, I don't have stats, but it's just my eye test from games I watched. Like, oh, he's picking up a couple more SMGs. Is that a symptom of that?
Yeah, definitely, because especially on the CT side, he's like our playmaker, as I said, like on some maps, and you will see him often pick up those SMGs because basically he's just being set up to go and farm and get early kills or get information. And then like we're using Nico mostly as like our closer, you could say, like the one to finish off the round. Or basically just having him on the other side of the map because I trust like his judgment. He has a lot of experience, and I'll know like he'll react with the proper play based on the information he's given.